We got a Syntex Infinity that we're going to replace today, and I'm going to put a keypad on and inside the guardhouse. This AMKP bilinear. I'm going to start off with that right now, and then I got my AE1000 staying cool inside the truck. This is what I took out of the guard shack. I didn't take a picture of it inside because it had resident information in there, but this is back in the day. If you had a guard shack and you wanted to call a resident as opposed to walking out to the telephone entry, you could just pick this up. It would go off hook just like it would on the telephone entry, and then you would dial their directory code and it would call the resident and they would say, yeah, he can come in. Then you would just press 9. Put the AMKP in, and now we'll work on the telephone entry. I'm going to take this in the guard shack and take it out of the box and start taking the housing, taking the control board out since it's starting to sprinkle a little bit. Don't want to get any damage on that, and then I'll take the other telephone entry down. I got all the wires labeled, and just wanted to take a picture of this just to see what they got going on. Got relay 1 jumpered over to relay 2, not sure what that is, and then have something going to relay 3, which could be some kind of alarm or something like that. But now that I got a picture of it and I got the wire labeled, I'll figure it out as I go. So this is what an old Syntex Infinity looks like. Probably one of the older serial numbers I've seen. I want to say that's either 4765 or 14, but I think it's 4765. Old school, baby. As you can see, I have a damaged wire here and here, there, and all of that was because when I was taking out the actual operator, or taking out the telephone entry, those wires got damaged. But look how small that freaking hole is. So you know, it's pretty frustrating, but luckily the one that I'm 100% sure I need, which is this brown one, had some service in it. So all these other ones look like they're pretty much done for. That's as good as it's going to get. But I'm not sure that I'm actually going to use these two if they are going into the guardhouse, and not sure what these were for either. So anyways, we'll just pull them through. This one's still good to go. I mean, I could still extend it if I need to. And this one was for the reader, and looks like the wiring is okay. Yeah, the wiring's still good. There's no damage on it, but that sure is frustrating. So anyways, but we're good there. Shield, still got a good shield, and I'll just have to I'll strip all the wire back here, and the rest of this junk is just power and stuff that's been deprecated, I guess. So we'll have to match up the linear and drill holes for it and get this thing going. About to mount the housing. As you can see, I had to take the door off because it's raining out, and drill a couple holes in there. Now I'll mount it and screw it down and rock and roll. Had to get the umbrella. Somebody was kind enough to bring an umbrella out here for me because it kept on raining, and I didn't get a chance to give you all the steps. But what I had to do was take the door off so I could actually just install the housing and get that going, because that took about 35-40 minutes just to drill the holes out in the back and match those up and then mount it. So although it took me more time to take the door off, it saved me a little bit of time because I could go ahead and start doing that. And I went ahead and wired my Cypress board input from my toll tag reader, output to the control board, relay A, relay B, which in this case is the entrance gate, exit gate, and then wired the keypad on the inside and wired the reader that they have, and then there's a Cypress board again. And I did all of that before I even put the board in there. And then I wired the phone, but you see I've got to take all this stuff apart. When I say all this stuff, I mean, yeah, that's not a lot, but still, you got to take it apart. So still got a couple things to hook up, and then I'll be just about ready to put the door on, and then power. Okay, I got the Cypress board mounted right there where the postal lock goes. Got plenty of spare wire. I ran this up through ran the power for the Cypress board up through this little cable holder right here for the ribbon cable. So I don't think that'll cause any interference. And see that. And, so let's get power to it. Alright, I had a little under voltage in this reader, so I had to wire power to it separate from what was coming out of here, which is probably 8 to 12 volts, probably 8 volts. And now I'm just getting ready to unhook I had a transformer hooked up down there, and it was hooked up to the power up here just to confirm that I didn't have a wiring issue, and it was actually a under voltage issue, just a voltage issue, however you want to label it. So now I'll just take my transformer off. So I'll take this transformer, it's just a 24 volt DC transformer, and then I'll hook it up over here where I have power, and then that should power this up. And as you can see, it's getting pretty good read range. It's probably about 1 or 2 feet. So somewhere in the 2 to 3 foot range. Even picking up on the side too. So it's got a pretty good read range, and I got a 24 volt DC power supply on there, and it's picking up at a couple feet away. I was going to show you the gate opening, but there's really no point. You just have to take my word for it, and you may be able to hear it opening on the background anyway. I still got to put some silicone around the top and around the sides, but that's how she looks, and everything's working, and gate's open. Now that you know the code. And one thing to keep in mind, this one had a Transcore toll tag reader and AMKP hooked up to it, and I was locking the gate open so residents wouldn't have to wait. It was showing that it did not recognize the codes. I was like, oh, that's weird. But if you have the gate locked open, it shows some kind of weird code, like denied, invalid code, blah blah blah. So just keep in mind when you're setting it up and you're testing it, if you come up with an error in the database validation and you have the gate locked open, or I guess technically locked closed for that matter, although I don't really see very many people ever using locked close, unlock the gate and then see what's going on. I think that's about it. So AE1000 plus installed. It's Friday. It's time to go home. And subscribe to the channel. Safeguard Controls, Dallas, Texas. We do automatic gates, audio, video surveillance, access control, and all around nice people.